Quoi? Laissez compétent l'amour à Paris. Is that what?
Ha ha ha!
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to Ratatouille.
welcome to another episode of Grossi Perna Show, otherwise known as GPPS. And if you're wondering, Tom, why the French, Mecha Fish, who is also in the chat, was there last night as we streamed the Browns-Ravens game, which was horrendous and abysmal to the eyes and ears. And, well, someone mispronounced my last name as Grossi, and so it was the Grossi Pussy, and this happened.
Grossi Posse. Grossi Pussy.
And
Wow.
my entire night was made. My entire night was made, and I laughed harder than I've laughed in a very long time. So that's what we got going on.
Yeah, I learned today because of that Frenchification of the Grossi Pussy show that this is how you spell wee wee.
That is how you spell wee wee. That is accurate.
I would have sworn it was WEEWEE
Nope.
or WIWI.
Nope.
But now I know.
Uncultured is here. He knows why. He knows. We all know why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We all know why. But we breaking news, by the way. It seems Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, has unfortunately tested positive for the COVID-19. And apparently it ain't done there, because not only did he tested positive, apparently it says there are up to 8 positives in Dallas, and details are still rolling in. And the Cowboys have to play on Thursday Night Football against the Saints.
So they're going to be without Mike McCarthy, their head coach, which honestly, you could probably just put a cardboard cutout of a man that looks like Mike McCarthy on the sideline, and he would do the exact same thing Mike McCarthy does during a football game.
Yeah. I mean, I think you would get similar results. I think they are comparable, 100%. There'd be less smashing of watermelons.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if I had to bet on it, I'd say the Cowboys still have a good chance of winning. Wouldn't you say, Brandon Perna?
Who are they playing?
The Saints.
No, Cowboys going to lose.
Well, if I was a betting,
Cowboys, I think the Cowboys are garbage.
If I was a betting man, I would bet that the Cowboys might win.
Oh, you are talking about money. That's the official chant of DraftKings Sportsbook. The most annoying ad reads on earth, and somehow they convert. Check the link in the description. Code GPS when you sign up at DraftKings. Oh, shit. I made a big parlay yesterday, and I have yet to see if I won.
Oh, did you win?
Why don't I just, while we're talking about DraftKings, how about I log into my DraftKings account right here on my phone, as you can see, DraftKings Sportsbook.
That was your social security number.
And did I win? Face ID. Oh my God, I won!
Did you?
Oh, I made over $500 with my parlay.
Oh, damn. Oh,
That's
damn.
back-to-back parlays I've hit. Daddy got over $800 now in his DraftKings account thanks to winning. Oh my God. And Jonathan Taylor was the first parlay bet I took. And all he had to do was get over 75 rushing yards against Tampa Bay. Heading into the fourth quarter, he had 25. I'm like, oh God. I was like, I don't even want to look at my parlay because if he doesn't hit this. And then one drive, he nailed it. And then I forgot to check the rest of my bets. I took overs on all these different player performances. Like Trevor Lawrence needed like 15 rushing yards. I'm like, he'll get that probably. Anyway, if you want to feel great because you found out you won $500 and totally forgot, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Code GPS. They'll match your first-time deposit bonus of up to $1,000. They got offers every week. They got the fantasy app if betting ain't legal in your dumb state. So DraftKings made me happy. Wow.
Yeah. That I actually got concerned for a moment because of how happy you got. I was like, well, he's retiring from GPS now. he's made enough. That's it. He's gone.
Yeah. No, I should have bet bigger, but I mean, $50 bet. That's pretty big in my book.
50 turn into
Jonathan
500.
Taylor. What's that?
50 turning into 500. Can't go wrong.
I know. Jonathan Taylor had to get over 79 rushing yards. Ryan Tannehill over 8.5 rushing yards. Trevor Lawrence over 16.5 rushing yards. David Johnson over 25.5 rushing yards.
Honestly, the most risky one was the David Johnson, and he's the running back.
I know.
That was the riskiest one out of all of them.
Oh, yeah. Big time winner. Anyway, sorry. I'm sure nobody's interested in my personal.
Well, listen, buddy,
games,
you gambled and you won. You know who gambled and lost? Odell Beckham Jr. That's right, OBJ.
You down with OBJ?
Yeah, I'm going to jump right into the Packers game. Because why? Because why not? We're going to break down a whole bunch of these games from Week 12, which was crazy. But let's talk about the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. Let's talk about them, Brandon Perna. Because you have the super team. Got Von Miller there. Oh, he's there. Oh, with a roughing the passer on Aaron Rodgers. Did you see that? Did you see that, Brandon Perna?
I missed it.
Did you see that? Yeah.
No.
Why don't you get him under control, buddy? You get him under control. Just saying. Just saying.
Was it a bad roughing or was it a BS roughing, Tom?
I mean, he hit his helmet a little bit.
Good God.
He hit it a little bit, and he could have hurt him. But anyway, so yeah, Green Packers taking care of business. That defense was pretty darn good. Had two big plays. OBJ and Van Jefferson was able to score on the Packers, but for the most part, they shut him out for 2 quarters. Basically, no run game whatsoever, allowing that. AJ Dillon was a beast, as you saw in the thumbnail this morning. AJ Dillon was a monster, and Rashawn Gary, coming back from injury, got a strip sack. And right now, the Green Bay Packers, sitting at number 2 overall in the NFC, are 9-3. The Vikings lost last night. So because Kirk Cousins doesn't know how to line up under his center. 1, 2, heading into the bye week to finally get healthy. 3, Dave Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, and Zadarius Smith could potentially come back sometime after the bye week. And the Packers just keep getting better. And the last 5 games of the season, 3 of them are at home.
Wow. Okay, I got a couple questions.
I got a couple answers.
Because I'm impressed with the Packers.
Yeah.
I really am.
Okay.
But
I hear a butt coming.
How many rushing yards? Without looking, how many rushing yards did AJ Dillon have?
Oh, no, he had 69.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, we did that.
Yeah, yep.
Second question.
Yeah.
Is Devontae Adams the funniest player on the Packers?
Apparently, David Bakhtiari is the funniest according to Aaron Rodgers, but Devontae Adams got a lot of points because OBJ was talking about doing a jersey swap with him. He's like, oh, no, you want a jersey? Oh, well, you chose Cooper Kupp. Go get his jersey, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, go get Cooper Kupp jersey since that's who you want to be with.
That's it.
Love that. That's the best kind of trash talking.
Oh, yeah.
It is a man slighted by another man, a love affair, if you will. And Adams just dunked on OBJ, who played okay. He had a 54-yard touchdown. First touchdown in over a year for OBJ.
Yep.
Really basically just making up for the production that Robert Woods would have had, but a little less so. So OBJ, not as good as Robert Woods. And now, so the Packers are on a bye this week, correct, Tom?
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers could be facing some toe surgery.
Only if it won't take him out, he said.
Only if it won't take him out. At this point, if you're Aaron Rodgers, do you just cut off your toe?
Dude, we've been talking about it. Someone brought it up in the chat and basically said, listen, I don't want to say the toe was bad, but ever since he's fractured his toe, he's had no interceptions. He's thrown over 600 yards, like a bunch of touchdowns. And to be fair, my man outran Jalen Ramsey with a broken toe and got a tutty yesterday. Jalen Ramsey, Devontae Adams being like, remember how I owned you last year in the divisional round? Let's do it again. Yeah. And I'm all about that because that's phenomenal. Yeah, I think the toe honestly has been holding Rodgers back. So yeah. Also, Randall Cobb was out. And Randall Cobb was crushing in the first half and then went out in the second half. I don't know if people knew that, but Randall Cobb.
Did he get hurt?
Yeah, groin injury. The worst.
Dang.
Worst.
4 catches, 95 yards for Cobb. And then he was averaging 23.8 yards per reception.
Yup.
So he got a groin injury. Somebody else got a groin injury this weekend.
Darnell Savage got late hit. He got a dirty hit on the onside kick. The guy didn't even go for the football and just nailed Savage. Thankfully, he's okay, but I was like, okay. All right, Rams, that's how you want to play it? Well, guess what, Rams? You've lost 3 straight. You lost 3 straight. Are you going to win the division? I don't know. But that number 1 seed's pretty much gone. So you take your super team with all your fancy toys, and your Green Bay Packers defeated you with Rasul Douglas.
Yeah, the Rams, Stafford, 3 straight games with the pick 6. Ooh, Matty Stafford. I also saw his record is like, it was on NFL Reddit. What was it? Let's see, Matt Stafford, 9-70 all time against teams with a winning record.
Jeez. I mean, a lot of that's Detroit. That's
a lot of that's just being a Lion.
That should be on the Lions. And again, I think Stafford's a good quarterback still, but man, I'm telling you, the amount of cockiness and some Rams fan came in with this, I was like, okay, but
if you're gonna be the if I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here, I would say, give the Rams a little time to let all these guys gel.
That's what I said yesterday.
Really tough team to play, especially after a bye week. After a loss, too. Green Bay don't lose after a loss. And, but yeah, I think the Rams losing Brandon Staley this offseason is what's really hurting them, which is funny. Because I also think the Chargers suck too, even with Brandon Staley. So
how'd you do, Brandon Perna, over there? How'd you perform against the LA Chargers, Brandon Perna? How'd you do?
It's a victory Monday here on GPS. Both Tom Grossi and I are high
Just
on big
another
wins for both our
victory
teams.
Monday.
The Packers win, reasserts their dominance in the NFC. Winning despite the injuries. The Broncos win, right back in the playoff race in the AFC.
What is your division? What is it? Like, what is your division?
The Broncos are 6-5. The division is the AFC West, Tom. That's what it is.
That's what it was. That's what it is.
But right now, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, all 6-5. Chiefs 7-4. During my live stream, I had more Chiefs fans, more Raiders fans than I've ever seen in my life rooting for the Broncos to win.
Ooh.
Because a Chargers loss made things better for both of their teams. So we had the support of all the AFC West.
Oh, yeah.
Denver wins, much like the Packers. Teddy Bridgewater hurt in this game, left the game with a shin injury. Drew Lock came in and, well, he actually helped orchestrate a touchdown drive. And
There you
then
go.
the next series, he threw just a god-awful interception, just a horrible pick. And the coaching staff was like, you know what? Teddy can barely walk, but we're going to go with Teddy for the rest of the game.
Put him in.
That gives us the best chance to win, and they were right. Teddy was literally like limping off like to the huddle every play. He rushed for a touchdown early, and then he played through the game with this injury. So really makes up for last week or before the bye week when he didn't tackle Darius Slay.
True.
And the Broncos got a very ugly but dominant win. So many rookies balled for the Broncos. Just a all-around. Javonte Williams killed them. Pat Surtain killed them. 2 picks, a pick 6. Boom. Pat Surtain, although he's got 1 fewer interceptions this season than Justin Fields thrown touchdowns. So I think the Broncos are winning the draft pick right now. Other guys, Jonathan Cooper, Baron Browning at linebacker, rookie, stepping up. Caden Stearns filling in for Kareem Jackson. We lost our backup tackle in this game, Calvin Anderson, who's pretty damn good. He was filling in for Garrett Bowles. He gets hurt, carted off the field. Probably pretty serious, but it's like the Broncos are like the very, very poor man's version of the Packers. A lot of key injuries through this season. We just don't have that elite quarterback to help keep the team alive in important situations. But like, as underwhelming as the team is today, I feel proud to be a Broncos fan, which has been dicey this year. Just a gritty win against a division rival, and Fangio owns the Chargers. I think just 1 loss to the Chargers since he's joined the Broncos. So that's it. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
Are they in your top 10 now? Are they going back in? Are they going back up in there in the top 10, Brandon Perna?
Oh, I don't know, because every time I put a fringe team in the top 10,
it doesn't go well.
No. I mean, I put the Eagles in there.
Put the Falcons in there.
The Falcons. And I think I figured out the curse. I think like if you try to curse the Patriots, they absorb the curse, but then they deflect it onto their opponent because they killed the Falcons. Yep. And then they played the Titans this week. Yeah. And the Titans put A.J. Brown on IR before this game. Yep. So the Titans had nobody. They did get
their leading receiver had 25 yards. 25, great rushing performance. And that the first half was actually close.
Yeah.
And then their leading receiver had 25 yards. Like it was rough just to watch it. And I think you said this last week that after this game with an injured Titans team, everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, they're all over the Patriots. And Brandon Perna, you don't seem too impressed with the Patriots win there.
No, I'm not impressed at all.
There you go. The Titans have broken the record for most players on an active roster in a single season. It's week 12. Wow.
Yeah. So they've had to put guys on and off the roster, IR moves. They're doing it all. And it's to key guys. It's to key players. Derrick Henry, I think somebody said he hasn't played for a quarter of the season and he's still second leading rusher in the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, the Titans, they had 240 rushing yards in this game and still lost 13-36.
Which is a little surprising, not the loss part, but the loss, like they were able to run that much on a good Patriots defense, but then they just couldn't throw the ball. So it was like, we'll let you throw all you want, or we'll let you run all you want. You're just not going to throw on us. And Mac Jones was solid. He was solid.
Yeah. And you'll see that from Belichick from time to time where they will give you one facet of the game to be successful in and just take everything else away from you. Like we know you can run it and we just don't think you're going to beat us with the run. You'll get a lot of yards, but you're not going to score a lot of touchdowns type of thing. J.C. Jackson had another interception. I think he trails Trayvon Diggs by 1 pick now. Diggs, by the way, 1 interception in the last 6 weeks. So hey, that's part of the Cowboys' problems.
You mean he's not the best corner?
We're going to find out who New England really is They play Buffalo
Bills.
coming up
Twice,
and the Colts. And even though the Colts lost to Tampa Bay this weekend, I think they're a legit team. They're definitely a playoff contender, not a Super Bowl contender. They blew it, really. They beat themselves against Tampa
They were
Bay.
up. They were up right during the half. They were up. They were playing pretty well. Carson Wentz was being very, very careful with the football. It was 24-14 at half, and they only scored 7 for the rest of the game. And what I understand, like, the Buccaneers have a good run defense, but like it seemed like they didn't even try to go to Jonathan Taylor for the majority of that game. And when they did, he was finding some success there. Like you said, like heading into the fourth quarter, what do you have, 25 yards?
Yeah,
So
something like that.
It was wild. And the other thing that killed them was the turnovers. They had 5 turnovers for the Colts, 2 being picks from Wentz, and it just killed them. It crushed them. And like, you can't do that against the Buccaneers. Like, they could have won that game easily. And it was a good game. It was definitely a good game, but yeah, Colts kind of let that one slip through their fingers. So,
yeah. Oui, Grossi.
Grossi and Perna, I see. That's it. So that game. Also, we'll talk about all these other games. The one team I want to focus on right now, the Panthers and the Dolphins. Like, not a lot of people are going to talk about this game because it's like the Panthers and the Dolphins. No one really cares. The Dolphins continuing to win football games. Their defense looking good. And remember how everyone said Cam Newton was back? They were saying in the first quarter of this game that Cam Newton was back because he scored a rushing touchdown. Cam Newton then got benched. Dude, 5 for 21.
Yeah.
And listen, their offensive line's bad. Like, PJ Walker came in, he was getting annihilated behind that offensive line too. But 5 for 21 and 2 picks. He ran one in, but holy crap, man.
Yeah.
That was horrific.
It's like the Panthers were smart enough to divorce Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And they went out hitting
Dated
that single life.
Yep.
Hitting that single life. Smashed with some 6s.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? My ex is a 9, even though she's crazy as fuck. So we're going to remarry her and see what happens. And the first couple weeks feel pretty good. You're like, this is going to work out.
The old magic is there again.
The crazy flares back up. And you're like, what did we do? So it's true. I think it's just like, Cam's shelf life as a quarterback was done. His arm just hasn't been the same since the shoulder injuries. And the Panthers actually had the formula, I think, in using him in
Arizona
as a situational QB with PJ Walker. And unfortunately, it looks like your best option at quarterback Carolina is Sam Darnold. And he's hurt, so you can't even go to that. So, it's the Panthers are they were on a bizarre trajectory this year, started off hot. Defense looked unstoppable. And here's what really makes me think Cam Newton is bad now. 5 completions on 21 attempts, like you said, multiple times.
Yep.
And that's with Christian McCaffrey in your backfield, one of the best receiving backs in the league. Yeah. Literally one of your easiest targets to throw to in the NFL. It's like McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. Which guy do you think is easier to throw to out of the backfield? Because they're both elite. You can get 5 passes to them every game without issue. And the Panthers didn't do it, weren't smart enough to call those plays. I don't know. So,
I think it's a mix, because I don't think it's all on Cam Newton, but I think it's a mix of a lot. I think the Dolphins defense definitely played well. Cam Newton was his 3rd game, I think. I think it was his 3rd game with the Panthers at this point. On top of that, the offensive line is horrendous. Like, I'm not blaming it solely on Cam, but it's like everything fell apart yesterday and didn't look good.
Yeah.
And the Panthers, who were in the playoffs, are now finding themselves no longer in the playoffs. I mean, again, we still have some games left, but yeah, it's that's the thing with the NFC. Like, the Vikings lost to the 49ers yesterday, and their QB tried to take a snap from their guard. But the Vikings are probably still going to make the playoffs. Like, that is the NFL this year. Like that. So you have the number one team in the AFC right now in the Baltimore Ravens, and Lamar Jackson threw 4 interceptions. Like, that is the NFL this year. The number one team in the NFC, they don't even have their starting quarterback. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But
let me bring up let's get the standings up here just to look at.
Oh, do we have that video too? I totally want that video.
Oh yeah, we got it all, Tom.
Oh, you got it all.
We got it all because we got each other, and that's a lot. Sometimes love don't feel like it should. Stuck on you.
Okay, we're going a lot of different. We're going a lot of different things. Yeah, I saw Dalvin Cook got injured yesterday, by the way, too. He got carted off. They said it was a dislocated shoulder, and he was going to do an MRI today to see how bad the injury actually was. So hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
In
the AFC, you're talking about the NFL this year. The Titans are on a 2-game losing streak.
Yep.
They're still 8-4. They're still leading their division because the Colts could not beat Tampa Bay. Tennessee, if they can get healthy at the right time, get in the playoffs, they might be a good team when that time comes. I don't know, but they're missing Julio. They're missing AJ. If they can run well without Derrick Henry and they get Derrick Henry back, I don't know. I don't know who the Titans are. I think the Colts are good, even though they lost. Ravens did not look good. The Bengals, again, look like the best team in the division. But as soon as I said they were the best team in the division, they got the spin wheel curse, and they've been clawing to get back there. Chiefs Broncos play Sunday night. Chiefs 7-4 top the division. And of course, Patriots Bills. AFC is just as much of a SHIT show as the NFC.
Yeah. And the Eagles, too, I'm so disappointed losing to the Giants. Like, they had an opportunity. And Jalen Hurts, I started Jalen Hurts because they're like, oh, he's been crushing it. 3 interceptions, and kudos to the Giants defense. But, like, you look at this, like, look at the NFC East, and it looks like it did last year. The only difference is the Cowboys actually have a winning record right this second. That's the only difference.
And they're on a 2-game losing streak as well.
It might be 3 on Thursday, depending on who plays and who doesn't play. But the NFC is very top heavy because, like, you look at, like, the NFL playoff picture, you know, like the Packers are there, the Cardinals are there, the Rams, the 49ers are now there. All of a sudden, they're on a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Ever since, Jerry teamed up with Lenny, they've been rocking and rolling. So the 49ers, continuing their win streak, seem to maybe figure it out. It's always going to be the butt fumble. The butt fumble.
Oh, the Zach Wilson shovel pass interception or the Carson Wentz one?
Yeah, there's a Carson Wentz one too.
Yeah, don't forget Wentz did it. It bad.
So that's the NFC. And then the AFC, everyone's just on top of each other. Like, I don't even know if there's a clear-cut number one. Like, you have the Bills and the Patriots. They're fighting it out. You know, the Patriots on a 6-game win streak, which is very, very impressive. But they have 2 games with the Bills. The Chiefs, the AFC West, buddy, you're in there. I don't know what the hell that is.
Look at this. Chiefs, 4-game win streak. Patriots, 6-game win streak. And then the Dolphins are on a 4-game win streak.
Yep.
Tua Tagovailoa, back-to-back games. 80% completion rate. The Dolphins could sneak into the playoffs.
Which, by the way, Tua, that stat came out yesterday. Tua's now completed 70.5% of his passes this season. That's second in the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
and yes, there's a lot of short passes in there, a lot of efficiency passes. But Tua is not getting damn near enough credit for doing basically what Mac Jones is doing with the Patriots. Make a lot of smart, easy throws, and then you drop a dime. Like Tua's touchdown pass to Jalen Waddle this weekend. Amazing. Great touchdown pass. Nobody's talking about him, though, because he doesn't play for the Patriots. Doesn't have Bill Belichick as his head coach, even though he's got a Belichick disciple and Brian Flores, my coach pick for Coach of the Year. Ruined by a horrible start by the Dolphins. But I think Tua's good. I think the AFC West or East, they've got Josh Allen. They got Mac Jones. They got Tua. They got 3 very good quarterbacks, 2 emerging.
Yeah.
Allen not playing as well as he should be this year, but again, we're gonna know so much more about the AFC East in 3 weeks.
Correct.
3 weeks after the Bills and Patriots play a couple times.
Yeah, it's true. 2 is better than
0
Watson this season. That's it.
0% because he's
yeah
being sued by 22 women, guys.
Sure. The AFC though is a complete and total. Who knows? Like any one of those teams can actually like make the playoffs, and I don't even know. Like it's wild. It's wild.
Tua has just as much arm talent as Mac, my friend.
Fight.
They both played at Alabama. They both look good at Alabama. Tua, overall, more athletically gifted than Mac Jones. Let me try to find... let me do some stat digging here, Tom. Feel free to talk.
Okay, great. I want to talk about the 49ers-Vikings game. So in this game... Oh, real quick, by the way. I'm sorry. I should have brought this up when it happened with the Packers game. Yeah. Did we see this, folks? Did we see this? Aaron Donald literally choking out one of our linemen. And the ref, you can't see him in this picture. There's a whole video. The ref is standing right there. And it's like, hey, calm down. So in a league where you're fined $10,000 for pointing, when there's a flag thrown for every time you touch the quarterback, when there's flags for everything, Aaron Donald is literally choking a man, and not in a consensual way. And the ref is right there. No flag. No flag whatsoever. Like, what? Come on now. Like, come on now. Looking at you, Giants. The Giants are an enigma. Do I like the old playoff format and current? I actually like that just the 1 seed gets the bye, but I don't like that there's 7 teams, though. I don't like that. But yeah, I saw that and was like, that's garbage. But speaking of garbage and choking, the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings against the 49ers. Kirk Cousins, and this video is phenomenal. Kirk Cousins lined up underneath his guard, and it was 4th down to take the snap, which, folks, in case you might be new to football, the center is the one who has the football and snaps the ball. And Dalvin Cook, I think it was Cook, has to usher him over and be like, no, Kirk, that's not where you get the ball from. You got to go to the other guy. And they have to burn a timeout. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, the Green Bay Packers lost to this. They lost to that man who lined up underneath the guard to take the snap. It was the backup QB. Okay, so it wasn't Cook. It was phenomenal to watch. It was Madison. Okay, so Cook was already out. So Madison is just like, hey, come on, buddy. Like, go over there. But first of all, this is why Kirk Cousins is never going to be an elite QB. And here's why. It's not because there's a throwing ability. Because, listen, Kirk Cousins has actually had a pretty nice year. He has. Not a lot of people talking about Kirk Cousins, but that's neither here nor there. I don't talk about him either. But the reason why he's never going to be an elite QB is because if you don't know what your center's ass looks like by now in week 12 of the NFL, and you can't identify your guard's ass from your center's ass, then what are you doing, Kirk? Then what are you doing?
All elite quarterbacks know whose butt is who on the offensive line by feel alone.
Yep.
You should be able to blindfold your quarterback, and he can put his hands under any player on the team's butt, really, and tell you who that player is. John Elway could do it. Brett Favre could do it.
Yep.
Tom Brady can do it. Peyton Manning can do it.
Yep.
And I think we figured out why Kirk Cousins is not elite.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Whoever said the Mac Jones thing, he's got double the amount of 20-plus yard passes as Tua this season.
Okay, so Mac wins.
Okay, so Mac getting more of those opportunities. Fair enough. But how many of Tua's passes were 19 yards and Mac's were 21? That's what I want to know.
There you Can we pull up the video of Kirk Cousins going under the wrong butt?
Oh yes, of course.
Can we see the butt? But yeah, Kirk Cousins did not have a good day yesterday, and I want to say that the stars and planets are aligning perfectly, Brandon Perna, because what have I been saying on this show and every single pulpit that I have had access to? The Detroit Lions will get their first win of the season against the Minnesota Vikings. And who are the Lions playing next week? At home, the Minnesota Vikings, after Kirk Cousins went under the wrong butt. Look at this.
Yes.
All right. Can we make this bigger? We go a little full screen on that guy? A little full screen. There you go. All right. So Madison has to run over to Kirk, who's under the right guard. And he's like, let me snap the football here. And he's like, no, Kirky. It's fourth and goal. No, you gotta go over there. You gotta go over there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Elway did this when he was a rookie in one of his first starts in a hostile environment. Kirk Cousins. The lack of feel you have for the game.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Norman punched Vikings player's butt there. Mina Kimes with a really nice troll job.
I thought that was really funny. I like that too.
So everybody dunking on Kirk today.
I think, actually, I wonder what the betting line is, because I am really considering betting for the Lions to win against the Minnesota Vikings next week.
Oh, you definitely should do that, Tom. And if you do,
With
you
who?
should do it at DraftKings Sportsbook and use code GPS. Link in the description. Code GPS gets new DraftKings players a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. They're going to match your deposit. They're going to match your deposit bonus when you put money into the bank. They've got all kinds of great offers every week, especially if you're a new customer. But they also got great offers, bonuses, boosts for returning players, for returning customers. And if you're like me, you'll do a really smart four-way parlay bet. Forget about it. Wake up Monday morning, $500 richer, because I bet the overs. I bet the overs on some gimmies, some David Johnsons getting over 25 rushing yards.
I think you're the only person on DraftKings to actually bet on David Johnson.
Yeah. They're like, what's this guy doing? We didn't think anybody would take this bet. We got Chiefs fans I feel like every stream telling me about Creed Humphrey, their center. Great job snapping the ball to Patrick Mahomes and blocking. A center will never be considered for that award. Just by the way. And Creed Humphrey's good. But DraftKings Sportsbook, you use code GPS. They support us. We support them to do all of your sports betting action. The fantasy app, too, if you want to do the tier maker, bet on fantasy, do daily fantasy. They've got millions of prizes every week. DraftKings.
$1
as well. Cajillionaire. I'm a cajillionaire.
Oh, we got 2,500 people in here, by the way.
Hell yeah, Monday morning.
Crushing it on a Monday morning.
1,100 strong in the pornographers. French baguette carrying Tom Grossi needs to be made into a pasta sti. I went from French to Italian. That's how you do accents, guys.
Brandon, there's one team I want to talk about right now.
Oh, God. The Steeler Killers.
Kitty goes meow.
It's about time, Cincinnati. It's
You know
about time that a jungle cat would take down a steel worker.
Here's what I'm going to say, buddy. Here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, like the video.
On my predictions, I said two things. One, I said the Steelers could win this game, and I picked the Steelers to win this game. That was wrong. But I also said that Joe Mixon could also run all over the Pittsburgh Steelers. That one was right. Joe Mixon absolutely killed them. 165 yards. 2 tutties.
2 tutty for Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon had a phenomenal game.
Well, I mean, that blueprint was the week before the Chargers. Justin
week
Herbert.
before that too. The Lions ran all over him.
Yeah. So the Steelers, normally great defense all around, suck at stopping the run now. They can't score on offense, and they're bad. They're a bad football team. The Steelers, no bueno, no good.
Steelers going Super Bowl?
Steelers not gone Super Bowl.
Not going Super Bowl?
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about that because it's like everybody's always, quoting that Yinzering from Tree, from McAfee, all of these Yinzer area people.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we don't have that in Colorado. Like, we don't have a defining sort of thing linguistically to bond us all together. I wish we did.
Yeah, but you have a Super Bowl win in the past 10 years, so.
Yeah. No. I know that. But I'm talking from like a broader perspective. I was like, what's the equivalent here? Like, we don't have it. Colorado's in the middle. It's not Midwest because I was there. You have the accents. It's close to the Midwest, but we're in the mountain. We got a wide range of mountain folk, of hippies, of city folk.
Legalized weed was like pretty early on. That was nice.
Weed, yeah, we had the weed.
Right.
Yeah, bro, we had the weed.
You have guys named Breck. So that's
Brecky, baby.
That was
but
Breck.
Anyway.
Yeah,
we don't have our own language, and I'm jealous. That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. You need that like cultural linguistic connection.
Yeah. I want to be able to say gaunt and people know what I'm talking about.
I got you. I got you.
What the fuck are you talking about gaunt to Super Bowl? Learn to talk.
Idiot.
Learn to talk right.
Oh, by the way, these streams were weird this weekend. On Friday during the Q&A, do you know how big a prostate is, Brandon Perna?
It can get up to the size of a balloon.
A blown up one?
Well, you can blow up a balloon to many sizes. I don't know. I just know when you get older, your prostate can enlarge and cause you to pee a lot. But I don't know the actual size of one.
Well, so I found out because I got a spam email that said mine was the size of a lemon, which I was very curious on how they knew what the size of my prostate was. But apparently it's a deshelled or is a shelled walnut is the size of it. So I just wanted to let you know, in case you ever wanted that information. But people wanted me to ask how big your prostate was because I don't know how big mine is. They tell me 11,
but you should start getting your prostate screened early, men. Get it screened, your PBH balance or whatever, to avoid prostate cancer. I do know that.
That's a good tip. You know what?
And you called me Friday, didn't you? And I ignored your call.
I was literally calling you to ask you how big your prostate is.
Is that what it was going to be?
It was during that Q&A.
Yeah.
They were like, call Perna and ask how he's. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's celebrating Thanksgiving now. They're like, call him. I'm like, I'll call him. He could just not pick up. And I called. Yeah. Yep. Because you were doing anything else better.
Yeah, I was hanging with the fam. Couldn't talk about the prostate openly. I mean, I could. My family's pretty disgusting, but
they would have understood. Talking about some New Jersey teams, the Jets and the Giants won. You haven't been able to say that. Oh wait, no, yeah, the Jets and Giants, right? Jets won.
Yeah, no? Jets somehow won.
Yeah. So Jets and Giants defeating Jalen Hurts for causing 3 interceptions. We talked about that a little bit. And then the Jets versus the Texans.
Jets, 5 sacks. 5 sacks on Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
John Franklin Myers was a beast for the New York Jets. Had a beautiful interception. He tipped the pass to himself and then took off running. I Can't remember if I don't think he
Zach Wilson
scored.
was still bad though.
Yeah. Zach Wilson threw a fumble off of his running back's back. Some people tried to blame the running back in that situation. I'm sorry, your running back mid-play doesn't realize your running quarterback at the last second is going to decide to throw him a 3-yard pass, and instead the running back tries to turn upfield and block. That's on your QB, trying to freelance when he ain't a freelancer yet. It was a dumb play by Zach Wilson. Did not look good in his return.
No.
But the Jets beat the Texans, which is like...
It's a statement of the Texans right now. Texans who beat the Titans, by the way. Like, they beat the Titans.
That's true.
Yeah. But then again, so have the Jets. So there you go. The Jets now, I think, are number one in the AFC, if that's how that works. Because, they beat the team. They beat the team that their team beat, and then they beat the team, the other team. So
the transitive property.
Yep. Exactly.
How you like that school talk? How you like that school talk?
Crushed it. Also, Atlanta and Jacksonville had a game.
Sorry, Super Mojo. It's Tyrod, according to Tyrod Taylor himself.
Ooh.
So you say the name the way he prefers.
Oh. Cordero Patterson, who wasn't even supposed to play, crushed it again. He literally is their entire offense.
He is the most surprising player this season,
yes,
for sure.
Correct.
The Falcons cannot win without him. He's like Deebo Samuel, but for the Falcons.
Yeah,
he's a running back and a receiver. They use him to do both, and he's really, really good. That's actually a good comparison. Who's better overall, Deebo Samuel or Cordero Patterson this year?
I mean, he had 108 yards on the ground. He had 27 yards catching, but he literally was the entirety of that. Russell Gage did pretty well, but yeah, I don't know anyone who was watching that game and was actually yeah, this is great.
No, because Falcons, Jags.
And then, yeah, real quick, just to recap too, because we kind of skipped over it a little bit. Yeah, let's talk about that Sunday night game. Did you watch that thing, Perna?
Yeah, I had it on. I was working on writing, but I was watching all the turnovers. I saw 5 turnovers in just over 3 minutes. Was amazing.
That game, it got to a point where we were just laughing, and that's why the stream turned into a French stream, because there was nothing else to see on the TV. At the end, the Browns are down 6. They're just down 6 points. They just need to go down, and they have over a minute to go. They just need to drive down. And I don't know if anyone actually had confidence that they were going to do it. Both offenses were horrendous. The defenses were not good either. This wasn't a strong defensive game. There were so many times with Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson that Lamar Jackson runs 25 yards back and just says, just throws it up there. And it's the ugliest looking ball that just goes straight down. And somehow Mark Andrews comes up with it. And that happens twice. That game was, and that's the number one team in the AFC right now. I know the Ravens are injured, which, by the way, there was a lot of injuries. Conklin on the Browns getting injured again. There were a lot of injuries last night. But holy crap, that was a terrible football game.
What I was surprised that the Ravens did well was just shut down the Browns' run game. I mean, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt back in the lineup.
Yep.
You feel confident that the Browns are going to do what the Browns do well, which is run the rock.
Oh. And
they didn't even get 50 yards between both backs.
Well,
so
that's dude, they only ran the ball a total of 15 times with both of those running backs. Yeah. There was no commitment to the run whatsoever. It was brutal, dude. It was a brutal football. Baker Mayfield just looked wrong. He looked so off. He looked so uncomfortable every single time. I know he's playing with a lot of injuries, just like Stafford is. They're playing with a ton of injuries.
Did he look like he was playing with a torn labrum, a knee injury, and a foot injury?
Yeah. Now he looked like he was playing with all of those things. And you have to wonder, maybe you throw Case Keenum in, because he shows that he can win a game. Sorry. But he can win. It's just I don't even know, dude. I don't even know what you do. Both those teams looked horrendous. They both look bad. And I pray that the teams that showed up last night are the same teams that show up against the Green Bay Packers in a few weeks, because then I will be very, very happy, because we're playing them in Baltimore and then Christmas Day, Lambeau Field against the Browns.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think you have to worry. I think what's interesting about Lamar Jackson right now is the Dolphins blitzed the hell out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And we're the first team to really shut him down this season. And then he gets the win yesterday.
Yeah.
But he did not play well.
No.
I mean, 20 of 32, 165 passing yards, 1 TD to his 4 picks. He did have 68 rushing yards. But that's kind of a win. Like, holding Lamar to that, I think carrying the entire offense, Lamar Jackson, it's just kind of it's wearing on their offense a little bit, even though they got this win. And if their defense continues to do what it did against the Browns, they might be all right. And I think kind of like the Bills, you think their offense can slump for a while, but they're going to pick it back up and be dangerous. But I just don't know right now. And that's about almost any team.
That's any team.
The Patriots offense has looked horrible. Or, I'm sorry, the Chiefs offense has looked bad.
Yep.
The Bills offense has looked bad. The Ravens offense has looked bad. The Colts offense started to look really good, but then they lose to Tampa Bay. All these teams you start to buy into, as soon as you believe, they let you down.
Yeah.
So I am all about the shit show, especially as we get closer to the playoffs, and especially if my Broncos can sneak in. MVP pick. Ooh, don't know.
I have no clue. Rookie of the year, I feel like is easier. I feel like you're looking at Jamar Chase, Mac Jones, or Micah Parsons. I feel like those are the top 3 right now.
Pat Surtain could sneak back there, baby.
Maybe PS2. Which, by the way, how do you not have PS2 merch yet?
I think because Sony would end me.
All right, that's valid. That's that's
a good point.
That's a solid point.
I'm still working on osteoporosis bus driver merch.
Okay. All right, that takes up a lot of time. I understand that.
Yeah.
So yeah, MVP though, I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue. Throw Aaron Rodgers in there. I have no idea. I don't know. I truly don't know who you could even consider at this point, because I think every front runner has played poorly. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, I think his name is still up there.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
But see, this is why quarterbacks always win MVP, because Jonathan Taylor has to get his number called.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It's not just a good performance. They have to feed him the rock. Yep. And the Colts had a nice game plan where they were going to attack what they thought was probably Buccaneers' weakness, their secondary, and they had success with that early. But they just abandoned Jonathan Taylor for most of that game before finding him again, but it was too late. And they made mistakes too, like Naheem Hines muffing that punt killed them. They should have won. The Colts are up there. Jonathan Taylor maybe can finish the season with a bunch of strong performances, get the Colts into the playoffs, and you could easily make the case for him. But it depends on Frank Reich. It depends on how the game shakes out, because quarterbacks, they got the ball in their hand every play, so they can look good whenever they fancy if they're good. Kyler Murray was in that conversation, but then he's been hurt 3 weeks. An injury will hurt your chances to win MVP unless you come back from it and look amazing. Yeah, we are forgetting Big Ben. He could be Defensive Player of the Year for sure.
100%. 100%. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Trying to think man.
Yeah. That's that's what I have. I mean, I think it's Taylor, but that's a great point that, Jonathan Taylor could not be given the ball for the entire first quarter. And he has no control over that, because if it's supposed to be a run, QB can audible out of it. You know what I mean? So like there's so many different things that they could potentially do. There is we're gonna take a look at this.
I was just gonna start looking at different stat leaders. Let's see here. Rushing. Jonathan. Yeah, there's Derrick Henry. I mean, you could start to talk about maybe Joe Mixon.
He's been great in the past few games.
Look at 11 rushing touchdowns. I know he's got a handful of he's got a receiving touchdown too, or whatever. Let's see. Receivers. Any receivers carrying their teams? Cooper Kupp was there, but I mean, Devontae Adams.
Oh, look who's number 2, Devontae Adams. We don't look at number 3. But Deebo Samuel having a nice season.
Yeah, I mean, Deebo, but like none of these guys are they're not gonna even be considered. You know what I mean?
No. He is Cy Young for QB and MVP. Yeah, I mean, people have said that. But we do actually have a Monday night game to talk about for a hot second too.
Sure,
you got the Seahawks and Washington football team lighting up on Monday. I actually might stream it just because.
Taylor Heineke, MVP.
That's it. Now that's what we're talking about.
Terry McLaurin, MVP.
Scary Terry. By the way, I'm going to lose in clickbait on fantasy, and the auto draft had 2 people on bye. Thank you, Jalen Hurts. Thank you, Jalen Hurts. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, if the Seahawks lose, their season's done. Like it's very little hope that they could actually come back. But if they lose again, it's done. Like it's over and done with. It's buried in the backyard. Washington, kind of a weird team. Beat the Buccaneers. Pass rush getting a little bit better. I know they lost Young, but they're not as bad as they were to start.
No, I think. Well, here's the thing, Tom. We're gonna say Washington is putting it together.
Yeah,
they're getting good QB play out of Heineke.
Yep,
they've got a decent run game with Antonio Gibson.
They do.
When they use McKissick, Scary Terry, probably one of the best receivers in the league. Defense playing better. Just like we hyped up the Eagles. And what's going to happen? Washington is going to lose to the Seahawks. They have all the momentum going their way.
Yep.
You should believe in them a little bit, and they're going to get their ass kicked by Seattle. That's my prediction right now. Seattle is going to embarrass them.
Wow.
And that's just the way the NFL is going.
And that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
And I don't think Seattle's good, but they're just Russell Wilson is going to have a good game. I doubt he plays 3 horrible games in a row. Everybody's saying Pete Carroll looks tired, looks like he's done as a Seahawks coach. Maybe that's true.
He's going to come out chewing that gum and he's going to be like, listen, you sons of guns. I got my juicy fruit and I'm here.
Jamal Adams going to have 2 sacks in this game. Still won't make up for all the draft picks they gave up. Somebody asked for it in the comments, so here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Johnny John John!
I thought we only give those away for hundos.
Oh, yeah. Drop a hundo in the supers for Scooter Elway.
That's I don't think that's how that works, but it's okay. We gave that one for free.
That should be my new reward for $20 and up super chats, because I was getting some of those during the stream. I was like, I need something cool to do when we get the big dono.
You like a fitty for the kitty, or like
I was just doing this.
Why?
Because I didn't have a whistle or a bell, or I wanted a noise, so I blew into my growler.
Okay.
I blew a growler.
Okay. Listen, whatever gets you there, bud. Whatever gets you there.
We got you there, the audience.
We did. We navigated this show decently well.
Did we miss anything?
I think we literally covered every single game that there was.
Yeah, because we had the 3 Thanksgiving games, so we didn't have to even think about those.
Nope. Packers have a bye next week. We'll be streaming the Sunday night game. I might be streaming tonight's game. I haven't decided yet. I gotta say,
The big cross stream, Grossi Perna streams.
Yeah, baby.
Also
Yeah,
GPS.
baby.
So
Yeah, baby. We gonna get it.
Chiefs Broncos Sunday Night Football. Maybe we can get 10,000 people watching. Maybe. If the game is good, it's a possibility.
10,000.
Bad. I know Broncos fans will not give a S word.
They're just like, no, I don't care. I don't care.
They barely cared yesterday.
That's kind of accurate. That's
how defeated we are.
But Perna, I have one thing to say before we sign out.
Yes, sir.
Grossi Posse. Grossi Pouzy.
Yep.
So good. So stupid. So good.
I think I'm going to have to play that on clickbait randomly. Like when someone's having like a serious moment and then just be like,
every time Scooter says Dallas Cowboys.
Rain Dakota.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you, Perna. You got 2 videos coming out today? Two?
Yeah. Hopefully. Best and worst and the Broncos recap. Oh. Best and worst first. Broncos recap this evening. I got to edit them both, so it might be a little late. You
know what I'm going to do a little bit differently? You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? You ready for this? You're not ready for this. I'm going to put out my power rankings today. Why? Because Washington or Seattle is going to make the top 10, so I can actually do it on a Monday.
Whoa. You're doing power rankings today?
Because the Seahawks game and the Washington game, neither of them are going to be in there, so I could just do it. I have all the information I need.
Wow.
I mean, tell me this. If the Seahawks win 69-0, are they making in the top 10? No. If Washington wins 69-0, are they making in the top 10? No.
Possibly.
All right, you might. So you save yours for Tuesday.
I'll save my dumb power rankings.
I'll do it for... Your number one's going to be Seattle if they win.
Easiest curse I've ever done.
Easy. Done. Nailed it. All right, folks. This has been another edition of the Grossi Perna Show, otherwise known as GPS. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. You have been navigated.
And you have reached your destination.